So everybody who's not talking, we should.
Do we know what that echo might be? No?
I kind of muted everybody except us. So
Okay.
not you and it's not me, it's somebody else.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good because I am on the road and I was hoping to be situated by the time this started, but there was a traffic jam and I'm not. So, all right. So Eric, should I go ahead and
please, why don't you get started? Thanks.
And get us started. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Linda Bragan. I'm co-chair of Mayor Cooper's Sustainability Advisory Committee. We have a packed agenda today, so we want to get started right away with an update from Metro's Chief Sustainability and Resilience Officer, Kendra Ebkowitz, and then we're going to hear from more Metro experts from another angle, transportation and transit experts. We do have one small change in the agenda. We're going to be recognizing Laurel Creech a little earlier than planned due to some scheduling issues, and then we'll go to our work group reports. And the work groups have been really busy, so it's going to be fun to hear from them. As Eric said, the meeting is being recorded, and then the audio recording will be posted on Metro's website. So I just want to remind everyone of that and to share the link with those who couldn't be here today. So Kendra, I'm going to hand it over to you for the Metro update.
Awesome. Are you all able to see my slides? Great. Okay. So I think first update I wanted to provide is obviously address kind of perhaps what isn't the elephant in the room, but what is clearly in front of us, and that is a transition in administration. And so I know there are a lot of questions about what that means for this committee and the work groups who are working on deliverables and developing work products. And so I've spent a lot of time talking with others in the mayor's office and also with Linda and Eric. And what we've decided is we will have a wrap-up meeting this summer where we celebrate the incredible contributions and accomplishments of this group. I cannot compliment enough how much great work you all have done and how you really set us up for success. Just the other day, I was actually trying to pull together a log and inventory of all of the things from an environmental sustainability and resilience perspective that have been accomplished by the Cooper administration, and it's quite impressive. And so I look forward to getting to celebrate that great work that you set in motion with the Climate Action Plan and are continuing to support today this summer. So what that means for work products is we've communicated with each of the co-chairs about a good sort of cutoff point that allows groups to continue work that's in process, but then also try to wrap it up and transition it to the next administration. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that later on within today's presentation, but more than anything else, just wanted to make sure we were clearly communicating to this group the value that's been provided and sort of our game plan over the next few months. We're also having conversations internal to the mayor's office about what's the best way to look at potentially ensuring that we can institutionalize some sort of advisory body as it relates to sustainability. So this is a challenging area, recognizing that a variety, really all Metro departments have a role to play in sustainability and resilience. And so thinking through, again, the best way to make sure that there is a stakeholder group that can advise mayoral administrations on this topic. So more to come in that regard, but please know that we're thinking about it and taking that very seriously. So I wanted to, again, take a few moments to talk a little bit about where we are with some of our ongoing projects. As with prior updates, this is not an exhaustive list, but it touches on a variety of different things that are really bubbling to the surface within Metro. First up, we've heard lots of updates on our heat mapping story map, and that is going to be released Earth Day. Several of our project partners are on this call. It's primarily going to be an educational tool that helps represent the concept of urban heat to the public, talk about why we are seeing what we're seeing, set up some strategies that can be taken to address urban heat, and then also talk a little bit about how some of our Metro departments are taking action to combat urban heat. I think we recognize that with most of our resources, this is going to be one that evolves over time. And so the launch will, I think, do a great job of addressing this topic pretty comprehensively. But know that once it is released, there will be many, many opportunities to update it moving forward. We continue our work on an LED streetlight retrofit with NES. We are super duper close to, I think, being ready to announce something. So everyone keep rooting for us. Those conversations are going really nicely, and I'm confident that we'll have something to announce before the end of this administration. We're also getting ready to review the results of our solar feasibility assessment and cost benefit analysis with departments who engaged in that work. So as a reminder, that was a look across all of Metro's real estate portfolio to identify locations that were well suited for installation of solar, and then produce an analysis of the pros and cons that would come from that installation, and really encourage those departments who own those real estate portfolios to pursue solar. As this group knows, there are a variety of benefits that can come from that: grid resilience, reduction of electricity costs, and then obviously greening our electricity footprint and consumption. We are also making a final push with the help of our Buce Corps fellow, Kristen Stroup, to update and finalize the adaptation plan that this group, specifically Janie Camp and Jacqueline Matupi, started work on 2 years ago. So again, wonderful foundation that was set by Jacqueline and Janie and the Sustainability Advisory Committee. And so we are working to be responsive to some feedback, really positive feedback overall that we received from ICLEI as to how we can make that report compliant with those GCOM guidelines. Chris is also doing some really excellent work with NDOT and Metro Water Services to develop a resilience planning framework and toolkit that will eventually deploy to all of our Metro departments. So that approach will think quite a bit about different hazards and risks and vulnerabilities, and then set forth some really common sense actions that departments can take to take action to be more resilient. And so really, really grateful for her work on that and excited to roll that out to departments. Diane will probably talk about this later today, but there is development of a complete streets implementation guide that NDOT is leading up and has lots of opportunities to embed sustainability and resilience into that work. Metro is likely to participate in the TVA Fleet Advisor program. So that is a program that helps develop implementation plans for transition to electric vehicles for fleets. The two fleets that are looking at participation are General Services and Metro Nashville Public Schools. So part of making that transition is actually having a plan that will get you there, that talks about the pace at which you should transition, where your infrastructure needs to be, and costs associated with that. So very excited to get that technical assistance from TVA. Also, something that may be discussed by Renuka later today is WEGO is in the process of getting ready to develop their zero emissions fleet transition plan. So it's really exciting that we have so many of our significant fleets thinking very seriously about how they can decarbonize their impacts. Two significant grants that I know a lot of external stakeholders are interested in that I wanted to note here that we will be pursuing. The first is the Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Discretionary Grant Program. This is a national competition, and NDOT will be leading up that application for us. There's also discussion with the state, specifically TDEC, about a potential statewide proposal. And so we'll continue to engage in that and figure out if that's a good fit for us. In terms of what we're looking at there, we're looking at rip and replace of some existing charging infrastructure that will be obsolete in a couple of years. And then obviously expansion of some of that infrastructure, and looking at also trying out some strategies like on-street charging. Also, the climate pollution reduction grants. This is funding. It's actually non-competitive funding for MSAs across the country, the largest MSAs for climate planning. And it is looking like the GNRC is actually going to be the lead applicant for the Nashville, Davidson County, Franklin, Murfreesboro MSA. Our MSA actually is Nashville, Davidson County, and then essentially all surrounding counties. And so because they have those deep relationships with those surrounding counties, it's looking like they will be the primary applicant. But the goal there is to participate so that we can access $4.6 billion down the road. Conversations with MNPS about public access to outdoor recreational facilities when schools are not using them continues. We have understandably put those efforts on a temporary pause while MNPS is fielding all kinds of questions and recommendations and concerns about security, but still moving forward on that. Also working with ELI and Linda's team on share table guidance for schools. Again, still working quite a bit on that, but we'll make sure that timing is right to introduce that resource to schools fully. And then I just learned today from CJ Centel that Metro and really Nashville actually as a city will be undergoing a food systems analysis with a variety of community partners involved. And so that is made possible through ARP funding, and the Community Foundation will be significantly involved in administering those funds to the Nashville Food Project. So a ton of great work going on. Again, if you didn't hear about something that you're aware of, it doesn't mean that it's not important or no longer happening. It just means that it may be being led by another entity or so far underway that I may be counting it in my complete list.
It is an amazing list, though. It's so impressive. So Eric, I think it's over to you to introduce our special guests.
Yes, thank you very much, Linda. So we have two really wonderful colleagues and friends here today. I'm going to introduce both of them on the front end, and then I'll turn it over to the first speaker momentarily. So let me start by introducing Diana Alarcon. Diana is the director of the Nashville Department of Transportation, NDOT, which is a role she began back in January of 2021. into which she brought more than 30 years of experience in transportation and mobility, having served as transportation director for the city of Tucson, as well as the transportation director for the then newly launched transportation department for the city of Fort Lauderdale. Diana, I don't know if we've ever met before, but I know you spend a lot of time with my team, and we really appreciate, from Vanderbilt's perspective, the partnership, the wisdom, and the guidance you bring to all of the places that we intersect. And thank you for being here today. Our second speaker today is going to be Renuka Christoph. She's the Chief Communications Officer for WeGo Public Transit. And congratulations to Ruka. She was promoted to that position back in November from Director of Communications. Prior to her current role, Renuka was Director of Communications at Music City Center. And she's the founder of Nations in Our Neighborhood, which promotes Nashville's diverse culture and dining through self-guided tours. And I can say I've followed Nations in Our Neighborhood for a while now. It's really cool and interesting. And Renuka is also someone I've known for years and is a terrific individual. And we also thank you for being here today, Renuka. So with that, with those introductions made, I think, Diana, you're going to be up first. And I think you have about 12 minutes to give us some great updates.
Perfect. So I do have a presentation. So if I can share the screen. Here we go. Let me pop this up. Hold on 1 second. I'm struggling a little bit. Technology.
Eric, does she have share screen?
Yeah, it's enabled.
Yeah, it's enabled.
Okay. So I am share. It is not window. There we go. And let's see, it's not. Just give me 1 second. I am used to playing in WebEx and Zoom. It's not my forte.
When you go down to the
lower
bar
bar
and sort of
and
scroll
sort of
over, you'll
scroll
get a
over,
share
you'll get a
screen
share
prompt.
screen prompt.
Okay, I see that. Hold on one second. There we go. Now let's try it.
And then make sure to pick
Okay.
the
Make
right
sure to pick the
window.
right window.
There we go. Share. Now, can y'all see it? Yes? Oh, excellent. So let me just make it pretty for you. Moving a little slow, but it's getting there, right? There we go. So now we're going to turn this into a nice, pretty slideshow. How's that look? Good?
Perfect.
Excellent. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be with y'all, and I'm super excited about sharing out some of the sustainable practice that we have. I want to just real quick thank y'all for that wonderful introduction, and I am super excited about being in Nashville. I've been here for just a little bit over a year, and I am really enjoying a lot of the initiatives, and I'm super excited about all the sustainable practices we're already putting into play. Having lived in Fort Lauderdale, and I know y'all have all been following the news over the past 24 hours, they are back underwater. And this is, you know, climate change and sustainability. So my passion and my desire to really understand sustainability and resiliency really did start in South Florida. This type of flooding was actually a regular occurrence that was happening. So from a transportation perspective, I had to really focus on how I made sure cars didn't break down in the middle of the road. And so it's super scary in those incidents, but also it's a great challenge, and it was also a great education. So I've been talking to a lot of folks in South Florida this morning about some of the past sustainable practices we did when we had these type of rainstorms. But anyway, what are we doing here in Nashville? I'm super excited to share. Well, one of the first things I want to share with you is our Cool Seal paving. So this is an initiative that we are actually kicking off. We're going to be doing a demo this May. We've been working very closely with Kendra because she actually provided us with a heat map of where we have the largest amount of heat island effect. And so cool sealing is like, we have to seal coat to maintain our asphalt. We have to do a seal coating. You typically do it about a year, 3 to 4, once you lay new pavement down, and it helps prolong the life expectancy of the asphalt of the roadway. So instead of doing what you usually typically do, which is a Fox seal, which is a black cover that you put back over the asphalt, we're actually looking to do some Cool Seal paving. And this will actually help reflect the sun so it won't be absorbed into the asphalt, and it'll help reduce that heat island effect and make it just a lot more comfortable. We are going to focus this in our most vulnerable neighborhoods. And so where we've picked where we're going to, after we do the demo, because we want to measure it and make sure it actually works, we are actually looking to do 2 demos. These are 2 areas that we recently paved in the last 2.5 to 3 years. By the time we do this, which will be in the early fall, they'll be right around 3 years. But these 2 particular streets were repaved. Instead of doing the Fox seal on top, we're going to be doing the Cool Seal paving. So we're super excited. But we are doing the demo in May. We're going to spend the next 4 months actually measuring and make sure we get the return on the investment. And we want to see that temperature be reduced. I have piloted this in other cities and have had great outcome. So I'm super excited about bringing this opportunity to Nashville. I'll also share with you the product is getting much better. So as technology and practices actually and products come online, we're finding that it's actually becoming much more effective, and it's helping to bring the cost down. So this is actually something that can become a regular solution versus it being maybe 1 or 2 places. This could actually become a regular practice for the city of Nashville that we help with the heat island effect throughout our entire county. So super excited about that. And then Kendra hit off that we actually had a Complete Street internal kickoff meeting today of working on an implementation that will actually provide the roadmap, not just for IDOT, but also for our contractors as well, on how we can build safe multimodal. We are also a Vision Zero city, so we are looking at ways to improve the pedestrian and bicycle safety because they're our most vulnerable users. So we really want to practice some of the guiding principles from Complete Streets on what are those best designs. So it was a really fun meeting today. Also, we want to bring in the health benefits that Complete Streets bring in. So streetscape lining, sidewalks, bike lanes, but also just the safety of how a car, a vehicle, a bus would move through it. We're also going to be pulling in a new pedestrian crossing policy. We really want to focus in on how we can, what Vision Zero has taught us, has provided us is great data. And that data has really showed us that we need to really think about our crosswalk policy so that we can create safer passages for folks that are actually using our streets by their feet. So we're excited about that, and then how we can apply that in different contexts and make that and prioritize that level of service. So we're super excited. So one of the things I want to share with you is we're really happy is we've actually are coming upon the completion of 12th Avenue Complete and Green Street project. So this is where we've actually have gone in and we've redesigned the street. We've added bioswales on both sides of the street. We've actually have put in protective bike lanes. It has reduced the number of lanes, so it is, I want to say, less lanes to be traveled on, but we've also improved the traffic signalization so that the safety moves. We've looked also at the transit side of the house. So how can we improve the connection on the transit side? So the bus stops have been improved, as well as the connection to the bus stops. Super excited about this. We're looking to do the ribbon cutting ceremony late April, later this month, or early May. Super excited about that. So look for that to come out pretty soon. I'm really excited about that. That has been built. LDA was our designer on this, and then CD Smith has been our contractor. So it's just been a fantastic project, and we're super excited about it. So stormwater improvements, green infrastructure happen, landscaping, but just many great things. And we're hoping that this can actually be the first of many examples of what we can do here in Nashville, Davidson County. So another real big sustainable practice, I'm not sure if y'all were familiar, but prior to COVID, we had actually kicked off an initiative called Nashville Connect, which was to connect people for the opportunity to share rights. So again, looking at reducing our single occupancy vehicles. And so we're getting ready to relaunch Nashville Connect. That's going to be happening next week. Super excited about that. And then we're looking at taking our TDM policies and guides and starting to work them through our transportation planning, as well as working with our business community members and through our overall practices, so that we can look at encouraging different ways of moving around versus always being in a car. So we're super excited about our transportation demand management. I will tell you also, we are looking to take our policy one step further and how we can actually use parking as an initiative. Our council recently passed a minimum parking requirement, a no minimum parking requirement. So that's really going to be helpful with encouraging people to bike and to walk to establishments versus using a car. And it's also really exciting because now we're working with establishments about building in bike racks. We're getting ready to release an RFP on a new bike sharing program, so we're excited about that. And just one last thing I just want to share. I know many folks are familiar with our scooters that are used, but we are like the #1 scooter ridership in the country. And it's been great that our partners in our scooter partner companies have been able to evaluate their data and have evaluated that about 27% of the scooter trips are actually used for that last mile travel. So we are doing some really sustainable things through our scooter program. So we are going to look about how we can build that out safely. And that'll also be something that'll be kind of tied into our Connect Downtown initiative that we've been doing. So we are, again, transportation demand management. We're already, weeding it through all of our processes and procedures. So Ticket to Ride, April is our transit month. We have a Ticket to Ride. We're going to be celebrating that on April the 28th. And so basically you can come down, it's in partnership, jump on WeGo public transit, and we are going to be taking a ride on the Star from downtown out to Donaldson and back. And, it's really great. There is actually, the RTA, excuse me, is actually currently going through an initiative of looking at creating a transit-oriented development out at the Donaldson station. So there's just some really amazing things that are happening within our community for us and for WeGo. So we're super excited about that. And then one other thing I want to share with y'all is we've actually have been applying for a lot of grants. So Kristen, excuse me, Kendra just spoke about the EV charging grant that we have already submitted, and we're crossing fingers and hoping that we're very successful for that. But we're also looking at, we've applied for a grant as well to where we can repurpose tires. So this is actually a program that Memphis did, and they've actually done a year-long case study and have shown that this is actually a great value, and it allows us to keep tires from going into our landfill. So we are looking to, we've submitted to ask to buy the equipment and to help staff it and get it up and going. So it'll help us keep neighborhoods clean. We'll pick up the tires, we'll actually cut them, and then we're going to paint them and use them as a protector for our protected bike lane. So we're really excited about this. This has been a very effective pilot program in Memphis, and they've actually gotten approval from the Federal Highway Administration. So we are really super excited about this, and we are hoping we'll be successful with this grant as well. So that is a highlight of some of the things we're doing, and I will be happy to take any questions. I'm going to stop sharing.
Diana, that was an awesome presentation. We might want to mute you. Okay, there we go. That was an awesome presentation. I'm not sure today, Diana, whether we have time for questions, but I'm sure people can follow up with myself, Kendra, Linda, or even Diana directly. And I just want to give you a particular shout out on the 12 South Complete Street. I drive through there twice a day on average, and what a transformational project, along with all the other awesome stuff you're doing. Renuka's up now, and I'm going to share screen so that I can pull up her slides. And let me know, everybody, can everyone see those okay? Terrific. Take it away, Renuka.
Okay. And Eric, if you don't mind, could you please click on slide? There we go. Yep, you got it. There you go. Okay. Well, thanks all. And thank you, Diana. Fabulous presentation. So yes, I'm Renuka, Chief Communications Officer with WeGo Public Transit. And I get to work with some of the most amazing and brilliant minds in transit here in Nashville. Some of the things that have been recently accomplished that we're pretty proud of, that I commend the team for, is building over 200 shelters citywide. I'm sure you guys have noticed that. We've got traffic signal priority establishments in a couple of locations to help with BRT. And most recently, Diana, you're talking about scooters. We've got a partnership with Uber, where we have a program called WeGo Link. And so you can catch an Uber for $2 at select locations within, we've just updated it to now 6 zones. So those are some very quick highlights of some of the things going on. But what I'm going to touch on is just some of the things within marketing communications and what we're doing to advance sustainability in our city and by promoting transit. The first thing I'm going to just quickly touch on is some of the campaigns that we've launched. So in the month of February, we wanted to extend the love to our riders and did random giveaways, including a $500 gift card to the mall at Green Hills, among other things. And the whole purpose of that was to generate excitement to ride the bus, to get people to discover the bus and hear that they can win shopping gift cards. And out of it, we did get some pretty decent press coverage. The next campaign that we are currently launching, it is our route exploration campaign. And this is going to be an intensive campaign citywide where we're targeting neighborhoods. And what we are seeking is transit advocates within the neighborhoods to help us to promote our routes and our service improvements. And I've got Eric Melcher, my PIO, here on the line with me. Eric, feel free to chime in if there's any other thing you wanted to add about this neighborhood exploration campaign we're going to be doing.
Yeah, well, really, it's an effort to change perceptions, because that's a big part of what we do in marketing and communications at WeGo, is to change perceptions about transit. And that means getting people on board. We've got clean buses, reliable service, but people won't know that unless they get on board. And there's a lot of folks that are maybe a little transit phobic in Nashville, and we're trying to get folks on as occasional riders to be able to help, be able to support transit issues as we move forward. Because we know those occasional riders have talked to their friends and neighbors, and that's going to really help the transit effort here. So what we're doing is kind of a multi-part promotion, utilizing some traditional routes and some new routes. But basically, we're covering every single route, bus route in the city eventually, and we'll be doing one a week. And what we're doing is targeting one route, specific neighborhoods that are along that route. We're doing that through the Nextdoor app, through social media, and also messaging from their council members. We're also reaching out to businesses saying, hey, let your customers know that Route 4 goes right by your business. This is important so we can get people to get on the bus, and especially with parking issues in many neighborhoods, we think that this will be a good way to pick up occasional riders. Because a lot of people don't realize how close they are to a frequent bus line that runs directly from through their neighborhood to downtown, many popular neighborhoods. And what I always say is just imagine if you're in Madison and you don't realize how you're close to Gallatin Pike, you don't realize how easy it is to jump on the 56 and get to 5 Points and then get downtown. And also then for National SC, Nashville SC has been very popular on the 52 Nolensville route. So those are kind of things that all tie into this. And it's also a chance for us to promote WeGoLink that way as well, because that's very neighborhood specific. So we're excited about it.
Yep, thanks. Yeah. And again, it's all about demystifying riding the bus, because in our area, it's still, we're not quite where we're going to get there, right, Diana? Together, we're going to get greater and greater and grow stronger. So in line with that, so this last February on Transit Equity Day, we introduced Quick Ticket, which is our new fare payment system. And what Quick Ticket is doing is replacing the paper, i.e. the magnetic paper ticket. So what you can do is either download the app or get a reloadable card. And with that, it reduces dwell time, i.e. people board faster. It makes it easier for the bus operators, better on-time performance because people are boarding faster, all that great stuff happening. In marketing, what we are now tasked with, we've been given a date of October 1 when magnetic tickets will no longer be available. So we're going to be working closely with a marketing firm on doing some very aggressive quick ticket promotions in the next coming months. So we might tap on you guys to help us out to get the word on that. And I'll move on to slide 2. So this is just a very quick a snapshot of within our department. So we oversee all of the communication and marketing channels, and it is my A team really that's been helping to knock things out of the park. So just within this first quarter alone, from January through March, we've had some pretty extensive media coverage on each of our initiatives and on some of those campaigns that I just shared, which includes national coverage in 3 outlets and then local coverage in 12 outlets. And this includes news, radio, print, online. We have a monthly newsletter, which if you are not subscribed to, please do so. Just shoot me an email and we'll make sure you get signed up. On average, we have a distribution list of about 9,000. Our open rate average the last 3 months was about 4,000, and we just had over 100 new subscribers. Social media, we've got our coordinator who does it's a pretty robust campaign she's working on now. And in the last 3 months, we saw an increase of over 6,000 fans. So we celebrate that. And on to the next slide is, of course, what we primarily, our number one topic we focus on, which is ridership. So again, because of an amazing team, we are near pre-pandemic riders. So currently we're at about 25,000 riders a day. Pre-pandemic, i.e. February 2020, we were at about 28,000 riders a day. So nationally, transit ridership continues to return to pre-pandemic levels at about 70%, but we're outpacing that trend at 87%. So we feel pretty good about that. And in terms of ridership, we also have a program called We Go Ride, where we partner with businesses, schools, and organizations who then offer their employees, students, transit. They cover the transit on our public transit systems. And a key project is the North Nashville Transit Center, where we broke ground. And on our website, if you go under community projects, we keep this page updated on where we are on the progress. And so we're at right now we're at 10%, and our anticipated ribbon cutting day is a year from now. So save the date, sometime April 2024. We're looking forward to it, and we're pretty excited about what this transit center is going to offer. It's going to be a great economic, not just it's not just going to be just a transit center as we have Hillsborough Transit Center, but it's going to offer a lot more: amphitheater, waiting room, multiple bays, crosstown routes, and it's really going to be a great added asset to this part of the community. So wanted to be brief, and that's where I'll conclude and hand it back over to you, Eric.
Well, thanks for that great update, Renuka. You're doing a ton as well. And I'll give my employer Vanderbilt a plug here and offer some encouragement to others in the audience. I believe it's true, Renuka, correct me if I'm wrong, that Vanderbilt was the first large employer in Nashville to subsidize WeGo Transit. And we do that now on kind of what I call an all-you-can-eat basis. And that is a wonderful and important benefit, not just for our employees, but for our city and our sustainability ecosystem. If you want to learn more about that, please call Renuka. I encourage you to do so.
Awesome. Those were great presentations. So I'm delighted to see that Laurel Creech has joined us. And as many of you know, Laurel, who served in Metro government for many, many years and has accomplished so much, has recently left Metro to direct the state nature conservancy. And she is just such a special person and has made such a mark that we wanted to recognize her today. And we are going to hear from Kendra, and then Eric, and then Ann Davis, and I will wrap up. And as I understand it, we don't have a lot of time today because we did not give Laurel very much notice that we were doing this. So our remarks are going to be more like 1-minute toasts, but rest assured we could go on for hours about her accomplishments if we had more time. So handing it to Kendra.
Thanks, Linda. So Laurel, again, thank you so much for your contributions to Metro over the many, many years, over a decade. While we've only worked directly together for 2 years, as you know, and as I told you recently, I've admired you from afar ever since starting my career in 2008, and have always just really looked up to you and appreciated your leadership in this space in Nashville. You've also been just an incredible advocate for me here within Metro, and so appreciate your willingness to share your institutional knowledge and be a wonderful partner for me. It was so warming to have your presence and again, your support when I started this role 2 years ago. And where we are as a city is in large part due to you and the great work that you've been involved in since the start. So you're truly a pioneer, and just very, very grateful to have been able to collaborate with you and look forward to continuing to do so. All right.
Well, Laurel, I don't even know what to say, but I will keep it brief. I know you and I have caught up, and I was trying before this meeting to remember when we even first met, and I cannot. It's because I feel like I've always known you. I know you've been connected to myself and to my team in a whole variety of meaningful ways, and beyond just the many, many things you've accomplished professionally in your job. What I admire about you so much is that you are an individual who has dedicated really every fiber of their existence to the betterment of humanity through sustainable practices. You're even kind enough once, and I'm sure you still regret it, to invite me to be on your really cool podcast. I am so proud of you in your new role. I know we will all stay in touch, and the state couldn't be more fortunate to have you in this position. So thank you for everything you've done.
And
yeah, so Laurel, congratulations on your new role, and thank you so much for everything you've done for the city of Nashville. Ever since Carl's administration and the first Green Ribbon report, you have been in the midst of making our city greener, more sustainable, and a better place to live. And I just want to say thank you so much and best of luck, and look forward to working with you in your new role.
Thanks, Anne. So yeah, Laurel, it's really just been a privilege to work with you over these past years. You have been such a leader. You've really just been instrumental in moving Nashville forward on its sustainability journey. And you're a quiet leader, but you are a strong leader. And TNC is just so lucky to have you at the helm. You're incredibly knowledgeable, so competent. I don't think there has ever been a question that I've asked you that you couldn't answer in a sophisticated, thoughtful manner. I've really learned so much from you. And, you know, as Eric said, you contribute so much to the community in so many ways when you aren't at your day job, by serving on boards, as an on-air radio personality. And you all, if you have not listened to Laurel's radio shows, such as her WXNA, All About Nashville, you're really missing out. She just does an incredible job. So Laurel, best of luck in your new job. You're going to do such awesome work for protecting our state's natural resources, and we are really going to miss you. And I know you need to go, but you're welcome to say something if you want.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. I am truly honored, and you all are making me tearful just hearing all your very kind and generous words. And I always will say this, that the work that's been done over the last 13 years was a team effort. It has always been a team effort, and will always continue to be a team effort. It is because of fantastic people like everybody on this call, the Sustainability Advisory Committee, leadership from the mayor's administration, Kendra, you, Linda, and Eric as leaders of this committee, as well as Anne, who I've known probably since the mid-90s. All of you, it's all happening because of each of you. And even though you may not see it each and every day walking around the beautiful city of Nashville, it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen for today and for tomorrow. So I'm not leaving. I'm still going to be based in Nashville, and looking forward to continuing being a partner with you in my new roles at the Nature Conservancy. So thank you very humbly for you all taking time and your very generous and kind words. I'll miss you all.
Oh, well, we are so going to miss you, but you're leaving just an incredible legacy. So thank you. I'm sorry we gave you short notice about this. I know you probably need to hop off, but again, thank you so much. We're really going to miss you. And I guess we're going to turn now to our work group reports. And I thought maybe we would start with the work group on education and outreach. If Sue or Holly want to jump in and tell us what you all are up to. I know there's some exciting things going on.
Okay, sorry, I'm on my phone instead of my computer because since TSU had all those issues with our internet, they're only giving us Teams. I can't log into Zoom. So what we have is we've completed the photo contest and working on producing a slide presentation that we can plug in anywhere with a laptop and a monitor.
I'm gonna go get a pedicure.
And I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Oh, okay, sorry.
We can hear you. I'm giving you the thumbs up, which you obviously can't see. So sorry.
Sorry. Then I'm working on getting the photographs printed and the information with them. And thank you very much, Eric. I talked to Sean yesterday, and Vanderbilt is going to be printing everything. Thankfully, I don't have to use foam core. They have a cellulose-based rigid board that we're able to use. We also have Jennifer said that she believes she can get us a tent. We have a free space, so we are going to be exhibiting the photos in a tent on Earth Day. And once that's done, anybody who wants to carry on and take it to Vanderbilt to display or wherever, we'll have it mounted so that it can be taken to different venues for display.
Did you hear that suggestion, Eric?
yeah, we can figure something out there.
Excellent. Sue, thank you. All of us who have been sort of in the loop on the emails know how much work this has been, but I think it just turned out really, really well. And thank you so much for taking the lead. If there's nothing else, then we will move on to the next work group. Has Dr. Wingfield been able to join us? I know he had to teach, but I think he's with us to talk about the work group on youth and family education. Okay, if not, let's go to the work.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm on that one too.
Well, do you want to?
Well,
I'm ready. I'm here.
Oh, good.
Okay. Somehow the picture didn't come through, but I am here. So just want to say, can you hear me clearly now? Linda, can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes.
All right,
I'm nodding once again now. Yes, we can hear.
Okay. We've been working on two projects within our work group. One was a youth sustainability conference, and we've moved that until next fall. This event will target 75 to 100 MNPS juniors and seniors, and it's going to be co-sponsored by Deloitte and the Urban Green Lab. The conference will feature sustainability themed speakers, hands-on activities, and group discussions. So this conference was originally scheduled for the spring, but we did have to reschedule it because of the competing Nashville Youth Climate Summit this spring. The other project that we've been working on is the development of a family sustainability action plan, and that is to engage families across the city in taking actions and putting together a plan to reduce the carbon footprint. Because as you know, communities are a significant contributor to the overall city's carbon footprint. So we've made some real progress here in that we've got some reference material and descriptions of the plan now on nashville.gov, which is really great. And we've developed a QR code so people can readily access those materials, and actually families can engage in putting together a plan to reduce their carbon footprint across the city. We're getting set up so that for Earth Day, this QR code will be displayed along with other information at several booths during Earth Day. So that means it will be available for many citizens to access. And just yesterday was really neat. Thanks to Sue, we got the winning photo from her contest as now a part of the flyer and the poster for our carbon footprint. So we're integrating all the pieces. What we're going to, and Deloitte is going to generate some 11 by 17 posters that can be put on the table at various booths. We're going to still move forward with the video in after May. April and May are kind of busy, so maybe into June, and we'll have a more formal, we consider this our soft launch for Earth Day, and we'll have a more elaborate launch in June, so the beat goes on. And also, there was some discussions early on about incorporating our work with the Walk Bike to School Nashville activity, so we're still going to pursue that. So we're very thankful for everybody's help in getting this on the nashville.gov site and generating the QR code, and we're moving forward.
That's fantastic. I mean, those are just great projects. All right, David Chapua, you're going to talk about the work group on business.
Yep. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, so real quick, Globant, which is the organization which our subcommittee has partnered with, is in the process of finalizing the Climate Challenge website. Once that's up and running, our subcommittee will launch the pilot with our members and their companies. And then after we gather some of that data, we'll be reporting on recommendations, key findings, and lessons, targeting August, September timeframe for that report to be completed. Jackie and Todd with Green Lab, along with Jacqueline Mathupi, have been working to support this initiative. I know time is short, but if any of you all want to chime in real quick and provide any updates maybe that I didn't share.
Thank you, David. I'll just to reiterate that after we do the pilot, we'll all sit down as a committee and talk about, is this the best method for reaching our goal? And just a reminder that the goal is to help workplaces of all kinds in Nashville align with the tenets of the climate action plan and become aware of it and support it. So there may be other iterations of how to do that, but this is our first one out of the box.
Yeah, I can chime in quickly too. I'm meeting with Globit on a different project next week, so I'll nudge them and see where they are on all those things. And then also the Climate Innovation Accelerator that the Wondery is administering is concluding next week. And so 11 of those clients can serve as kind of the first pilot cohort to try this out if we want. And so that's kind of the next phase for maybe a user group.
Great. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Linda.
Great, thank you. So many exciting things going on and so much to do over the next few months. So the gift of time, we're ending a little bit early. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, the recording will be posted soon on Metro's website, as well as the slides that were shown. Our next and last meeting of this committee will be July 26th. There'll be more details on that soon. So nice to see everyone and enjoy this lovely afternoon. Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.